Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we are dissecting the League One table as we go into the final week of League One football. There's still plenty of teams that can get promoted through the playoffs, so let's get into this. So then, as we go into the final week of League One football, this is the situation. First of all, we have to congratulate Hull City on being promoted and as champions. They've done a great job in League One, haven't they? At the first attempt, bouncing right back up. It's not as easy as it seems. As a Coventry fan, I would know. It took us 8 years to get back into the Championship. Speaking of 8 years, we also have to congratulate Peterborough United, who have spent 8 years out of the Championship as well. They've been out of there since 2013, battling in League One for a long while, and they're finally promoted now. And what a way to do it, by the way. 3-0 down against Lincoln City. It looked like promotion wasn't going to happen on that day, but what a comeback. They came back and drew 3-3 in dramatic fashion, although I've got to admit, as a neutral, that penalty, bit dubious, but fair play. Peterborough United clearly deserving promotion over the course of the season. Johnson Clark-Harris, former Coventry lad, he's been amazing bagging the goals, hasn't he? And it'll be interesting to see Hull City and Peterborough in the Championship next year. Like I say, I'd expect quite a bit from Hull City. They've only been out of the Championship for 1 year. Peterborough United, they'll have to find their feet. It'll be the first time back in the Championship, like I say, for 8 years. But if they both recruit well over the summer, if they both keep their best players, I'm sure they'll give it a good go next year. Next then, we'll look at the League One playoff race, but there's still about 6 or 7 teams that could get promoted. We'll start with third place. We've got Sunderland Football Club, who have secured the League One playoffs for the second time in 3 years. Obviously, they're desperate to get out of there. They're the biggest club in there by a country mile, and they just keep failing to make the top 2. But they are in the playoffs. They've got a 1 in 4 chance, or maybe even better, of getting promoted back to the Championship. Do I think they'll come up? There's a very good chance. I know they've been in the League One playoffs before and they lost, but it gives you good experience to go and win it next time round. They're in third place. They've actually lost the least games through the season. They've actually drawn 16, which is the reason they're not going to make the top 2. I think that's the same reason they didn't get promoted in the 2018-19 season. Obviously last year the points per game seen them finish about 8th or 9th. So to be third is pretty solid. They'll be frustrated that they haven't made the top 2, but I think Sunderland have got a very good chance of going up through the playoffs. They still believe their manager's Lee Johnson. He's done a decent job there. They've just kind of fizzled out towards the end of the season, haven't they? A bit disappointing, very frustrating. I'd be pretty mad if I was a Sunderland fan, because it just seems to happen every year. But they're in the playoffs. We'll wait and see with Sunderland. In fourth place, we've got Lincoln City, who can no longer make the top 2. They could have kept it alive with a win at Peterborough, and they were 3-0 up, but obviously that finished 3-3. Like we said, a dubious penalty. But don't worry, Lincoln fans, you've still got a good chance of getting promoted through the League One playoffs. It's going to be interesting. We'll see which teams get in there first, but Lincoln have secured their place now in fourth place. They've still got 2 games. They could maybe decide if Charlton get in there, because that's their next game. So it's going to be interesting. Do I think Lincoln have got a good chance? Absolutely. They've been up there all season. I think they've been in the top 6 for the majority of the season. They fell away from the top 2 a bit, but to still make the top 6 is definitely a big achievement. And the Lincoln fans will be desperate for them to get to the Championship. When you just remember, they were playing non-league football just a few years ago. Remember that FA Cup run they went on? And now they're on the verge of the Championship. It'd be an amazing story if Lincoln can get promoted. And will they? We'll wait and see. Next up, in 5th place, Blackpool Football Club, who've nearly cemented their place in the top 6. They should be able to get the job done. They play on Tuesday. Obviously, they've got 2 games to go. I think they'll do it. They only need 1 point from the 2 games, so they should be able to do it. The form they're in as well. Blackpool have ended the season pretty strong. They obviously relegated Northampton last weekend with a 3-0 win. They're ending the season very strong. Probably the team to look out for in the playoffs. I think whoever ends the season the strongest is usually the team to keep your eye on, not just the team that finishes 3rd and 4th. I think if you end the season strong, you've got momentum going into the playoffs. So it'll be interesting. Blackpool have been in the Championship before. They haven't been in there for about 6 or 7 years, so will they get back there? We'll wait and see. And then this is where it gets interesting. We've got a few teams jostling for 6th place. In 6th at the moment is Portsmouth Football Club, who just look like they might be able to sneak in there. It'd be very frustrating if they don't do it now. They've got 1 game to go, 1 win, and I think that's enough. And it's been a strange season, hasn't it? When you remember Kenny Jackett at the start of the season with them, I don't think they had a great start to the season. They're really falling away. They lost the Papa John's Trophy final, didn't they, to Salford, and that was the end of Kenny Jackett there. The Cowley brothers have come in. They've done a decent job, and if they can get the top 6, I'm sure the Portsmouth fans will be very happy with that. They have been in the top 6 before. Remember, they played Sunderland and lost. At the moment, they look like they could be locking horns with Sunderland again in the semi-finals, which I think is just mental when you think how big these clubs are. I remember them 2 playing in the Premier League not that long ago, but both teams desperate to get back into the Championship. Will Portsmouth do it? I think the Cowley brothers have got a good thing going on there. If they don't go up this year, they've definitely got a good chance next year. And then in 7th place, you've got Oxford United, who do still have a chance. They had to win dramatically against Shrewsbury 3-2 in the last week of fixtures just to keep it going until the final day. And like I say, it is still doable for the likes of Oxford United, but the frustrating thing for them is it's not in their hands. They'll be keeping their eyes on Portsmouth and Blackpool's results in this final week. Can Oxford do it? They've got a good chance. Their goal difference is pretty good if it comes down to it. They're on 71 points. If they get to 74, that's usually sometimes just enough, isn't it? But like I say, it's not always enough. You'll have to wait and see. You're keeping your eyes on the Portsmouth and Blackpool results. But Oxford United, they made the playoffs last year. They lost in the playoff final. They'll be desperate to get up this year, won't they? And then the final team that can get promoted in 8th place is Charlton Athletic. They will have to win their last 2 games this week. Like I said, they've got Lincoln on Tuesday. That's going to be tough. If they draw it, they're still technically in there, but goal difference, they need a massive swing on the final day. So they need to win both games to try and sneak into the top 6. If they win 2 and miss out, they'll be desperately unlucky, won't they? Charlton, we've seen them get promoted through the League One playoffs before. I think last time they were in League One, they got promoted through the playoffs. It was Sunderland, Portsmouth and Charlton that were all in there before, wasn't it? And obviously they beat Sunderland 2-1 in the playoff final with a last-minute goal, didn't they? They've had a fairly decent season. 18 wins, 14 draws, 12 defeats. 2 more wins to get them to 20 wins this season. Like I say, 74 points. You'd be desperately unlucky not to make it. If they lose on Tuesday, that's it. They're out of it. It won't go to the final day. They need to win that Tuesday game against Lincoln to give themselves any chance of getting promoted to the Championship. So then guys, that wraps up today's video. Unfortunately, there isn't any relegation drama to go on in the final day of the League One season. Bristol Rovers, Swindon Town, Rochdale and Northampton Town have all been relegated before the final day, much to the relief of Wigan Athletic and AFC Wimbledon, who have just survived. But it's going to be interesting. You've definitely got to keep your eye on the League One playoff race, where we'll see who sneaks in there, and we'll see who plays each other in the playoff semi-finals. Like I say, Sunderland-Portsmouth, that'd be a good one. Will Portsmouth make it? We don't know. Blackpool, the form team. Lincoln City FC, got to keep your eye on them. So there's a lot to be decided in this final week of League One football. But make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, get your comments on what you think will happen down below, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Thank you for watching today's video. If you want to see more Matt SB content, please go over to Instagram, Facebook and TikTok, where you can find me, Matt SB. More content coming your way. So go over there, follow to the socials, and we'll see you in the next video. Get in! You made it to the end of the video without switching off. What a legend. If you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like on this video. And if you really want to help out the channel, then hit that subscribe button. As you can see, 67% of the people that watch these videos aren't subscribed. So hit that big subscribe button, share it around with your friends, and let's get the channel to 3,000 subscribers. Thank you.